Well, just look at this. Kronos have now joined the Evolution 9 homage party with this absolute beauty. And before you start adding comments in the comments section to say it's exactly the same watch as the San Martin, made in the same factory, I can confirm that is not the case. There are quite a few differences actually between the San Martin version and this Kronos version, which means we have to take this Kronos version seriously. It is potentially a very credible alternative to the San Martin. And in this video, of course, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this new Kronos. Firstly, I just want to say how nice it is to see a new release by Kronos. For those of you not familiar with Kronos, it is a really nice brand on AliExpress. They actually have a factory, that is their bread and butter. But then a number of years ago, they decided to set up their own brand, originally called Lug U. They reached out to me and said, don't suppose you fancy helping us rebrand? And so with, of course, your support, my channel, I Like Watches, alongside all of you guys, helped Lug U to rebrand to Kronos. And I have to say they've been doing pretty well, although they've gone a little bit quiet recently, haven't they? They're not really launching a lot of new releases every year, but what they do tend to launch and produce is really good quality. It's actually the Lug U or Kronos factory that made the Exciton 2s for James and I. And their watches have always been exquisitely built. Yeah, they were at one point, I think, everybody's favourite to challenge San Martin for top spot on AliExpress. But like I said, they've gone a little bit quiet recently and perhaps allowed a few other brands to sort of step up to the plate. But yeah, when they do launch new watches like this, it's almost impossible to ignore them because you just know they're going to be incredibly well made, and this one is incredibly well made. I've been enjoying it for a little while. I've taken lots of shots and video footage of this watch, and it does not disappoint under macro. They are absolutely one of the main contenders when it comes to competing with San Martin for quality finishing. Now, the day-to-day price of this NH34 powered GMT homage watch is $215, but during the most recent AliExpress sale, I was being offered this watch with $20 off, dropping the price to $195 US, which is, yeah, an incredible price for a watch built to these standards. And don't forget, of course, powered by the Seiko NH34, it is a GMT movement, 21,600 beats per hour, hacks and hand winds. And I think the main difference between the San Martin watch and this particular watch is the bracelet. Yeah, they've done something a little bit different, haven't they? They've gone down a more traditional sort of Seiko and Grand Seiko route, with that center link being divided into 3 sections. And then there's a facet on the outer edge of the bracelet that is polished, but the actual side of the bracelet is brushed. Yeah, there's definitely some strong Grand Seiko vibes to this bracelet, and the dial also looks quite different. I wouldn't say it looks like sand dunes, it's more of a sort of choppy ocean look, I think. But again, it's one of those sort of textured dials, one of my favourite colours as well, a very sort of silvery light coloured dial, lots of light play with this dial. Yeah, I like it. Not sure I prefer it to the San Martin version, but it is nice that they've not just done exactly the same as what San Martin have done. There's a smaller bezel on this one, I think. Again, a brushed bezel with the 24-hour numerals on it. And of course, as you would expect, incredible specifications. If you're going to spend around $200 on AliExpress, there are certain things that you would expect, and this watch gives them to you. Sapphire crystal, a beautiful piece of double-domed box sapphire crystal with AR coating, screw-down case back, screw-down crown, 100 meters of water resistance, solid everything, so solid end links, solid links, screw pins, a beautiful clasp. No on-the-fly adjustment system though with this particular clasp, so yeah, that's a bit of a drawback, I think. Gorgeous finishing on the case. I mean, the macro shots that I'm showing you will show just how exquisitely this watch has been made. It's one of those watches where I started taking shots and I just got lost in the watch, and I was there for 3 or 4 hours, and I've ended up with about half an hour's worth of footage that I could share with you. But yeah, I tend to keep my reviews to around 10 minutes. So sadly, a lot of the footage that I've taken of this watch will just be wasted. But yeah, the stuff that I'm showing you is undoubtedly the best footage that I've captured, and the hands are gorgeous. The applied indexes are gorgeous. Every angle that I looked at this watch, it just seemed to be impeccably well finished. And yeah, the light play on this watch is just off the charts. The proportions are good, the dimensions are good, the water resistance, 100 meters, that's fine. The end link fit is good, the clasp action is good, the crown action is good. There's very little to complain about really. The loom is okay. I've already filmed the loom degradation clip. I'll show you that at the end of the video. The loom is, yeah, it's good. And like I've said already, perhaps an on-the-fly adjustment system in the clasp would be good, only because we're seeing now so many watches on AliExpress that have the on-the-fly adjustment. I think it's just becoming a little bit like sapphire crystal 5-10 years ago. One of those things that we're starting to expect. And if a watch doesn't have it, it's potentially going to be a problem, I think. But really, at this price and made to this level, I shouldn't be complaining about a missing on-the-fly adjustment system in the clasp, because, I mean, the watch is just stunning. The hands in particular, just unbelievable. They really, really are. It's watches like this that put the Swiss watchmaking industry to shame. I mean, if this had Swiss made on the dial and a big brand name emblazoned above the hands below the 12, it would be over £1,000, no doubt about it. Okay, maybe not with the NH34 in it, but I mean, the build quality on watches like this, you expect to see on watches that cost $1,500, $2,000, and I'm not exaggerating. Honestly, it really is that good. I mean, just look at the pictures that I'm showing you. Unbelievable. I just wish Kronos would make a few more new watches, because, well, why wouldn't you want more watches made like this available? Incredible, guys. Let me know in the comments section what you think of this new release from Kronos. Yeah, I'm very, very impressed, as you can probably tell.